Hi everybody, I'm Corey, I'm the Dungeon Master. I just want to say thank you for coming back to the next episode and sticking with us. I know we've been gone a little while, but due to a couple of moves and everything like that, it kind of slowed the process. But we're back now. We should be up and going for the next couple of weeks and months to get new episodes out that everybody can enjoy. So without further ado, enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, I'm Corey, I'm the Dungeon Master. Welcome, and say hi to everybody in Group 1.
Heyo!
Hello.
Hey!
Alright, so, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's start with Red.
Hi, my name is Red, and or Etta, and I play Maggie, your wonderful glamour bard.
And Neko.
Hello, my name is Neko. I play Winters the War Cleric.
Gunny.
Hi, I'm Gunny, and I play Tensel Lostrith, the Elven Barbarian.
And Winter.
Hi, I'm Winter, and I play Charity, the Tiefling Cleric.
And I am the Diggity Diggity Dungeon Master.
He did it. He actually did it.
So, we had recapped a little bit. You guys had quite the eventful time. Gunny ended up appearing in... Well, we got up to where you guys had appeared. Gunny, you appeared in a church, which eventually came to this fruition to them that you were some sort of symbol for them.
That was funny.
Yeah. They ended up giving you a ring and a task to do, which ended up eventually becoming Charity's task after speaking with the preacher. You guys gathered some information on some of your friends. Unfortunately, no information on Nia, but you did find that there had been some whispers of Edmund potentially around, looking for somebody or something. Maggie ran into a very strange, peculiar person down in the sewers named Flora.
Not only that, but icky things.
Icky things indeed, as you were attacked by some sort of sludge monster with large, vicious fangs. I'd like to say at this point that let's go ahead with you guys heading down. As you make your way down the steps and out the very thick wooden door, you will notice that it's, for the most part, somewhat inactive currently, as they are pretty much walking around the place, make sure that it's tidy, clean, picking up any trash that may have been left behind from the big meeting, just trying to keep it all in all a lovely place to kind of be around. You will see the preacher. He is, or sorry, not the preacher. I guess that he would be the priest or the high priest. He would be standing behind the podiums, reading up on his scriptures for his next big get-together.
Winter? Wow, I just said Winter. Charity? I don't have to talk to him, do I?
Not if you don't want to.
Tensel's gonna kind of ease his shoulders a little bit more relaxed now that he knows he doesn't have to be here, and calmly walk beside her as they approach.
Okay. Eventually, the priest will notice you. Ah, Charity.
Hello, Gareth.
Hello.
Do you have a free moment to talk about the issue I wanted to talk to you about?
Oh, I don't think I'd have much of a better chance any other time, so now might be the best.
Fabulous. And she's gonna look around. Are there other people around?
There are, but you can see that they are attending to their duties with full focus. If you wish to have a private conversation, it is quite possible. But if you wish for a private conversation, you could also as well ask. You know that they do have private rooms for important things, the private things.
We believe that there's going to be an attack on Croker.
Are you sure of this?
Fairly. Almost definitely. It was a prophecy.
From Aphrodite?
I'm not sure. I'd like to believe so, but you know the gods.
Where did you hear of this prophecy?
In a crystal.
But of no false idol, correct?
Oh, yes, correct.
Well, most I can do is just, I don't know, I guess I could reach out to the nobility who seem to oversee the town, hope to speak to them about this issue, and see if they would be willing to help us.
That'd be great, and knowing the nobles, if they refuse to evacuate on the night, I would ask that you keep the doors of the church open for anyone unable to flee.
Of course. We would also seek that most of our clergymen would help people find their way out of town while safety can still be made.
Yes, I would. That would be lovely. That would be great. That is all that I wish to ask.
What kind of attack are we expecting? Will it be maybe a attack from a military force, or?
I don't believe so. The images we were shown, the first we saw of Croker was happiness, cheerfulness, the festival, and then it changed to a secondary image, and there was fire everywhere, and things crumbled, and people dead, and I'm not sure.
I see. Well, I can assure you we can help as much as we can possibly help, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to protect all of Croca ourselves.
That's all we ask.
Then that is what we shall do. For the glory of Aphrodite.
Thank you, Gareth.
So, your stay. I hope it is to your liking. I know the rooms are not the finest.
They're wonderful. We've spent quite a while on the road and sleeping in tents and in small inns. Is quite wonderful.
You know, I am actually glad that you have made your way back to Croca to visit. Yes, I have with me something that was sent to me. It was a parcel, actually. One that was actually quite confusing.
She's gonna raise an eyebrow and her tail's gonna coil around her leg.
He will pull out what seems to be a leather coin purse. And on it will have, in common, your name. And he'll hand it over. It arrived about 4 days ago.
Interesting.
It must have been somebody who knew your destination.
Which I didn't believe was very many people. Thank you for hanging on to this for me.
Oh, of course. It is, of course, something that, we do. We make sure that our followers are taken care of. As far as a meal, I can offer you guys some soup that we be making for the clergies later tonight.
That would be lovely. Thank you. And Charity's gonna smile and then bow a little bit and go, if there's nothing that you need from me, I'll head back to my party.
Oh, yes, of course. Feel free. And he'll look over to Tensel. It's good seeing you again, my boy.
Likewise. And he's gonna like bow his head kind of nervously, and then look to Charity.
Charity's just gonna smile at him softly with like a reassuring, "You'll be all right."
Oh, and he says this kind of as you're turning away. What is our current idea of this moment in time in which we speak of? Is it soon?
The night of the festival.
I was afraid of that, but okay.
Not going to be an easy... Well, I'm sure now you can see why I didn't have much hope for you convincing the nobles.
Well, it's not Madame Tepinta, as you know, to be the issue. It's the other two.
Yes.
Is there any way we could reach out to them?
Currently, at this time, I don't believe so. If I remember correctly, there was word of a noble in town speaking with all the nobles today himself. I'm not sure if perhaps you might have a noble that might have the honor of being able to ask for such audience. But unless you do, they might be indisposed this evening.
We do, but I'm not sure that I'd like to use her in such a manner. It's alright. We will be able to talk to them soon, I suppose.
Indeed. Oh, talk of the town, however. Apparently there is to be a duel between a gentleman named Pembrum and a gentleman named... what was it? He's the second in line of the throne. How has his name escaped me?
Could it possibly be a son? That's the king's second son, right?
Yes. Second in line to the throne. Indeed, it would be Aeson.
Well, our noble is going to be quite happy then. And we know
Oh,
Pembrum.
she wishes to see him harmed?
No, not at all. She, they apparently had a thing when they were younger. She's been quite worried
young
about it.
unrequited love.
Tensel's just gonna be looking back and forth, utterly confused and unsure of the entire situation.
Tridy's going to turn and smile to Tensel and be like, well, it appears that we have found Maggie's love, and we have also found Pembrum. Again.
Yeah.
Interesting that he's...
Yeah.
So somebody from the corner of the room, they're going to come up from downstairs, a small marble stepway, and they will call for the gentleman. And he will kind of turn back to you and goes, Charity, I apologize, but I really must attend to my duties.
Of course. Thank you for speaking with us.
Anytime. And with that, he'll give you both a bow, and he will head off.
Tensel would bow and in the same manner, trying to copy it, trying to be respectful.
We should head back to the room.
Yeah. I didn't know Maggie had a person.
You haven't heard her speaking about a son? Not even
I
the...
thought it was just a friend or a brother. He's just gonna like kind of shrink a little and look confused.
Charity's just gonna smile and reach over and pat his head and be like, I forget that sometimes it's a bit more difficult to see when there is clearly a romantic connection.
I didn't get to see that a lot. My father was always gone.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. At least you had your mother around. That's something, is it not?
It was, and he's gonna like grasp the hilt of his father's sword, kind of looking a little saddened at this, almost pinning himself up in his own mind.
Was he an adventurer?
You can say something of the sort. He used to get people in and out a lot.
In and out. And she's just gonna raise an eyebrow.
Noveska. It's where I'm from.
Oh, people are fleeing Noveska then. Is something wrong?
Not really fleeing, just not wanting to cause a commotion leaving. It's a rather difficult process to get someone in and out safely.
I can imagine so. Well, have faith that you'll see him again.
I hope so. There's a lot I need to tell him.
After we deal with this and go past Hazel for Edmund, we can always try to make a trip there.
I don't want to go back to Noveska. They're really mean.
The rest of us would probably be killed on sight, so I would suppose that would be a poor plan. I was thinking perhaps sending a letter that way and trying to get him to meet us at the edge.
I've heard rumors that he's been moving more people out, and someone was apparently a high enough person that it caused a lot of commotion doing so. But I'm just hoping to find him again.
Back in the bedroom, what would Maggie be doing?
Maggie would just be reading her books and, because she just got done with the bath, she's just like, fiddling with her viola.
Can you roll me a perception?
Okay. That's a 10.
10 is going to be enough. You're going to notice that in the corner of the room, there is a figure. Humanoid figure.
Maggie will whip her head to look at said figure and is probably freaking out a little bit.
So the figure seems a little bit familiar in a way. It's reminiscent of something you had seen before. And it takes kind of a small minute until it kind of clicks. There were moments in the woods where you had seen these humanoids that had disappeared kind of after a small inspection of whatever they were doing. And then the only other time before that was when you were in Cole's house and you had seen his wife. The figure is somewhat familiar. Someone that you hadn't seen in a long time, probably about a week or so, maybe a little bit longer. Roll me a history real quick, or actually, you know what? Let's do an intelligence check. Just a straight
Ooh.
intelligence roll
Why?
to see if you can pinpoint the face.
Okay, that's not bad. It's 17.
It is Victor.
Oh, God.
He will be there for a few seconds and be gone.
Maggie will just look in that corner and then shake her head, because, she's been seeing things a lot, so she's just going to kind of try to brush it off and go back to tuning her viola and playing with the music, and unless something else, catches her attention, she's just going to try to brush it off. She doesn't want to cause any more problems.
Winters, I would also like you to do me a favor and roll a perception.
Okie dokie.
That's an 8. So the most you're going to get is hearing something. It seems like a clink of armor, and then like something getting run through. As you turn, there's a wisp of this odd blue-like essence that's just going to kind of fade in the air. Do me a favor as well. Roll me an intelligence check. Let's see if you can put this together. That's a 3. Just an odd occurrence, really. I'll let you chalk it up to however you would like.
I'm not sure what that was.
Would you be saying that straight to Maggie, or just kind of to yourself as a whisper?
She's just muttering it under his breath because he doesn't know if she's seen it either.
Okay. Charity and Tensel. As you guys are, I assume you are continuing back to your room, correct?
Yes.
All right. With that destination in mind, you guys will make it up the soft corridor. It's a bit almost with an eerie feel to it. There seems an air of something not right in this hallway. And normally sometimes it's maybe a gut feeling, maybe it's just too quiet. Whatever it is, you don't know. But something's not right.
Charity's gonna stop and look around, confused.
Tensel's going to keep walking and probably not notice that she stopped.
Okay. Would you like to do anything with you being stopped?
Yes, can I roll an investigation to try to see what might be causing the feeling?
Sure. That is a 13 investigation. With a 13, it's an odd sense that something is at play. It's something that you have felt and yet not felt at this magnitude before. The last time that you got this feeling was back in the woods when Edmund himself was more or less starting to see things.
Charity's gonna frown a bit more, but start moving again to catch up with Tensel.
Okay. It won't take much time after that for you guys to arrive in the bedroom.
Charity will knock on the door, still holding the parcel under her arm, which she hasn't opened yet.
Maggie will jump a little bit and look at Winters.
Winters will nod and open the door.
Hi, Winters.
Hey, how was the talk downstairs with the priest?
I think it went okay.
It went very well. He offered his complete support, doing whatever they could if the battle happens. And he offered to back us up if we went to the nobles, or in not so many words. But at least that's what I got from the conversation.
Did you tell him to barricade the doors or set up defenses or...
Try to get as many people in the church who couldn't make it out, and try to get as many people out as possible.
I don't think a church is going to hold up against an attack.
You'd be surprised.
Trust me when I say I don't think it will hold up. We need to set up at least some sort of defenses on the outside to at least reinforce it. Just sharpened sticks will actually help. Anything to keep out what will come in.
I can sharpen some sticks.
We'll need to speak with the priest about that, because it's going to take a lot more than just 2 people.
Plus, it'd be kind of rude to set up stuff without his permission.
Right now, we need to worry about the defense of everyone in the city. If things are about to go down, we have to evacuate them. Is there an underground tunnel passageway that leads out of the city or anything?
Maggie will instantly chime in and be like, no one should go into the city right now. There's something down there. And I don't know what it is. And apparently someone is still researching it. With all of this going on, there's no way they can get out underneath.
What's under the city?
She's going to blink and realize she hadn't told you guys any of this. And she's going to be like, well, there's this black goo monsters things, and they're horrible, and it's really bad. And apparently there's this woman that's doing research on it, and I asked if the nobility knew about it, and she just kept telling me that they'll handle it, and I don't know. But all I know is that underneath the city may not be the best route.
Maybe we can go speak to the nobility.
It's an idea that I was thinking about, but we'll see.
Oh, right, Maggie. Ason's in town.
A big smile will come on her face, and then she'll look down at her viola, and her lip's gonna quiver a little bit, and a tear's gonna roll down her face, but she's going to straighten her back and wipe the tear away, and she's gonna be like, "That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad he's in town, and he's safe, is he not?"
I believe so. Anyway, we were talking about going and speaking with nobles. I'm very sorry, my brain just jumped a little. Yeah, I could accompany you walking around. I mean, the church carries a bit of weight around here.
If you want, unless you and Tensel want to do something in Winters, can go with me, just so that you can spread the word a little bit better. We can split up that way.
I wouldn't mind either way. And Ason's a noble, right? He could help out a lot.
Maggie will chuckle. She'll be like, "Yes, he is one of the more important ones."
Then you should probably find him and ask him to walk around with you.
I would love to walk around with him, but I think we won't have any time for that. She's gonna look at Charity with a soft smile.
I think it would be better if we all get together. If we go find Ason and get his help, we could be able to spread the word a lot farther, wouldn't we?
Yes, and, well, like she said, it would be good for us to split up, so, Tensel, if you'd like to come with me, we can start talking to maybe some lower end of town and see if they've seen anything weird. Winters, what do you think?
It's dangerous to split up, but we should meet up somewhere at a certain point. Have a time designated.
I think it should be here because we all know where it's at.
Sure, it can be at the church. What time, though?
Say around noon. I think everybody would like sitting down having lunch together.
That's a great idea.
So it's settled. We'll meet back up here at noon.
There will be a hurried knock at the door.
Charity will get up and go open the door just a crack to be able to peek out.
You will see Edmund covered in just nasty muck from head to toe.
Door is swinging open and she's about to hug him and then stops and takes a step back. What? Oh, and then look back at everyone else.
Edmund, what happened?
What happened to you guys? I've been here for a week.
A week?
What?
Yeah,
How
a
is
week.
that possible?
We only got here yesterday.
I got here a week ago.
Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Where have I not been? I've been dealing with the crap underneath the freaking town. We need to go. We need to go now. Something's not right.
Maggie found it as well. We were going to start trying to talk to some nobles to get people evacuated.
Yeah, we need to do that, like, now.
Okay.
Also, I can't hold this, and he'll hold up this. It's a blue orb. It's almost the size of a pearl. It swirls with like this color of like a churning ocean.
Tensel is kind of intrigued and he's going to start like reaching for it, but then realize it's probably not for him.
Why can't you hold it? Or hold on to it?
It's complicated. Just trust me when I say it's magic, and I shouldn't. It hurts. I'm kind of cursed.
What? Maggie will instantly take it and be like, "What do you mean cursed? What have you been doing?"
It's a long story, and I would love to explain. And we might not have the time, but follow me, and I'll try my best. And he'll turn around as if he's ready to head down the stairs.
Maggie will grab her viola and her things and quickly follow after Edmund.
Winters will follow behind Maggie.
Tensel will follow after Winters.
All right. So as you guys are rushing down the stairs, he's basically relaying this. I got here probably about a week ago. Everything seemed fine, and for the most part, for the first 2 days, I was just looking for you guys until there was this guy. He got attacked by something. Nobody believed him because he was drunk. He said it was in the water and that it followed him back into town. And I followed up on this. Everybody thought he was crazy, like absolutely insane. I don't know what it is, but there's something down in.
No, Edmund, I believe you. I saw it myself. But that's why I was going to go talk to the nobles about it, because
Here's the worst part. It's being controlled. That's not even our biggest issue.
What is being controlled by what?
That stuff, the stuff that you said that you've seen, the stuff that you believe me about, that goo, the teethy, gnarly, I want to bite your face goo. I don't know what it is, honestly, but it's looking for something down there, and I think that is what it's looking for.
Oh boy.
We should keep it safe then.
keep it safe, we should kill it.
I don't know if we can destroy it.
Then what else can we do? We should set fire to the whole Undercity.
The whole Undercity isn't the problem. It'll just keep growing. I've seen this stuff. I took it in a vial probably about 4 days ago, and it broke out and grew. It just consumes anything.
It's sentient?
Yeah.
Maggie's gonna look really concerned.
I follow me. I got a place at an inn. Just keep your head down when we walk in. It's not the greatest place in the world.
Oh no, what is
So he's leading you down and out these stairs.
Maggie will quickly follow after him because she knows there's no time to lose. She's seen the stuff.
Charity's following.
Tensel's kind of confused, but following along because it seems extremely urgent.
Winters is
Wait.
following as well.
So he's going to take you through most of the midtown, and then he's going to reach the lower end of town, and that's when things are going to start looking a little bit familiar, Red. He's going to continue down the road and turn to an inn known as the Golden Goblet.
Oh no. Maggie's going to be like,
What?
They know me here.
He'll turn and kind of like, what's wrong?
Just keep walking. She'll put a hood up and try to cover her face.
Okay. He will continue on inside. For the most part, anybody who has not been here, there is a really easy distinction between humans and dwarves. They separate themselves quite fairly to assume that this place has a bit of a separation issue. None of them seem to want to be around each other. But there seems to be some sort of understood peace as they just stay away. You guys will walk upstairs, and you will take the first door to the left. And Edmund will unlock it and kind of fling the door open. And inside, it's a horrible mess. Blankets are thrown all over the floor. There are papers and books and some sort of arcane writings, notes almost, scribbled in a small section in the floor where he's been kind of taking notes in a scripture or a book that he's torn the pages out of and mixed and matched. And it looks like he's been doing some sort of studying.
Maggie's gonna look at everything like very confused.
Okay, so like I said, I've been here for about a week, and after not looking for you guys for a little while, I decided to follow up on some of this. Like I said, I got a sample of this stuff, and he's gonna pull over the broken shards where it looks like it had basically like shattered from the inside. I use it to take down notes, see if there was any way that I could, I don't know, use some sort of spell to get rid of it, something to stop it. And I made a mistake.
What kind of mistake?
It eats magic.
What?
It I don't know if they all do, but that one did. And I cast a spell in order to banish it, and it absorbed it like some sort of sponge, and it grew, and
Oh my god.
Well, at least that's useful information if we have to fight this thing.
But if it's seeping all over the city, that means that if we use any magic to protect ourselves from whatever's coming in, it will absorb the magic, and her eyes are gonna widen.
it's not just one. There are dozens underneath the city.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. Is that it will absorb all the magic we're using to protect the city and absorb the city.
Maybe. it seems to only be able to so far either eat something or absorb itself and become bigger. Two of them at one point while I was down there in order to get a sample, they became one. They became really big.
Is there a way to kill it normally?
I don't know. I mean, at first I thought this stuff was some sort of blight, some sort of magical, just nastiness, but it's more than that. There's something added to it. It's magic almost. It's confusing because normally for something like this you would need to summon it, but it's not as if somebody had casted a spell. It's more like an item is controlling it.
Have you ever just tried stabbing it?
Yes, yeah, and it took my dagger and my sleeve, and he'll pull his arm out from the cloak that he's wearing, and you'll see that it's pretty much been pulled from the shoulder length.
What? Maggie's gonna be tapping her chin. What if we overloaded it with magic? It took up so much magic that it can't handle it.
I mean, there's a possibility that it will continue up to absorb and never find a limit. It's not like us magicians or magic users where our body has to get used to the magic, like when I got sick. This thing just ate it.
I wonder something. She's going to quickly grab a lantern or whatever has fire in it, and she's going to run out of the tavern.
Okay. Do me a favor. Roll me a 1d100.
Okay. $23.
The moment you touch the handle to the door, you get this really bad gut feeling. But in your hurry, you're going to push this door open.
Yep.
And this haunting face, this disfigured, almost sunken-eyed, long-jawed, open-mouthed female face is going to blow past you, through you, in a terrifying manner. To the point where it's basically the best way to put it is a ghost just rushed your face and then disappeared.
Maggie will gasp and scream a little bit, but she'll cover her mouth to try to stop the scream from exiting her mouth. And she'll stand there very stunned for a second and then just shake her head and quickly move forward, trying to forget what she just saw. Thinking she's actually going insane. She's freaking out a little bit. But she's trying to keep it to herself as she keeps moving forward.
Did anybody else see this?
Think I'll give the two closest people to the door a roll. I think that might be Tensel because he usually stays closest to the door, and either probably Winters or Charity. But I'd say
Charity, probably.
Okay. Tensel, with an 18, you are gonna have seen half of it. You're gonna turn in just the right moment to see this thing pass through and then disappear. With a 17, probably just a fraction of a second less for Charity.
Tensel is immediately going to draw a sword and start running after Maggie.
Charity's going to try to push Maggie back a little, being like, "Holy Aphrodite."
Maggie's walking out of the tavern and into the streets to go back to the sewers.
Winter's going to be following Maggie.
Okay. So undeterred, you will head out of the bed. You will head out of the room. You will head down the hallway and out the front door. And you said you were heading exactly where?
Back to the sewers.
Okay. So it's going to be getting a little bit darker as the day goes on, and the time that you've spent in the church. It's the sun is going to start just the peak around the edges of the mountains as it's going down, creating kind of a reddish skylight almost. By the time you reach the gate just down the road to the sewers, you are going to find that the gate has been left open, for one.
To the sewers,
and-
you said? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Maggie's gonna be like, oh, God. She's just gonna quickly make her way down into the sewers.
Okay.
And she's gonna be looking for this mass. For any little mass, doesn't matter if it's small or big, she's looking for something.
You will see, strangely enough, the most immaculate looking sewer. Not like it's been scrubbed clean, but it's nothing. You see no black ooze anywhere.
Maggie's gonna be looking very confused as she's gonna keep searching.
Roll me an investigation.
That's a
That's a
9.
9. Again, continuing the look, you will find no essence of any kind of ooze.
This can't. This. I literally just saw it today.
Where did you see it?
Here. I came here.
Maybe it's just traveling.
Flora! She's gonna be screaming into the sewers, expecting her to be down here. Flora!
You won't get an answer.
What the actual fuck did she figure it out? She's gonna whip around to see if Edmund followed her at all.
Oh yeah, Edmund's with the group.
Edmund, did you know a woman named Flora?
Who?
Never mind.
Was she cute?
Oh my god. Edmund, not now.
What?
She was studying this. I'm trying to remember where she told me she was. Can I roll a history to remember? Because I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. Roll a history. That is a
10.
10. You remember her saying that she was in one of the inns in town, so that only narrows it down to 3 places.
Well, I'm going to be going inn hopping. And she's going to walk out of the sewers this time. Maggie is just fucking running everywhere. She doesn't care right now.
Actually, I'm sorry. I was incorrect there for a moment. There are 3 inns in town, and you guys were already at the Golden Goblet. It would be safe to say you did not see them inside. So, well, you didn't see her inside. So she probably wouldn't be at that one. So there's only 2 left.
Okay.
So, I mean, Edmund's going to be mostly confused. Why are we looking for her? Who is her? Who is this Flora?
She, when I teleported here, she found me, really, or I found her. I don't know which way you want to go about it. But, she was saying that she was studying it, and if it's not down there, it's either magically hiding itself, or she figured it out.
Joined in a big mass, maybe.
Maggie's gonna nod, and she's going to head over to one of the inns, because obviously, unless wait, well,
There is one in the.
Go ahead, sorry.
So there is one in the middle district, and there is one in the upper district. Which one would you like to go for?
We'll head for the Middle District one right now.
Okay.
No, I was just wondering because, I mean, would she be at the one there, or would Edmund have noticed her already?
Edmund didn't seem to recognize her at all.
Okay, so she probably wasn't, maybe not at that one. So anyways, we'll go to the Middle District one.
Okay.
Or Maggie will. I don't want to assume everybody else's goals.
Oh no, Winters is following Maggie.
Yeah, Tensel is following right along.
Yeah, we're all following behind you, love.
Okay. I just didn't want to, assume anything. So, yeah, Maggie's quickly going to the Middle District.
Okay. It'll take you guys probably not too long, about a 10-15 minute walk. You guys will make it to the Middle District and enter the building. This place is going to be somewhat packed. Now, for most of the night, there's been a good bit of rain. It's pretty much died down to the most part. It's just sprinkles at this point. But with everybody trying to get out of it, this place has been packed to the brim. People eating, people drinking. There's barely a single seat left unattended. So you might have a hard time searching for somebody in here.
Okay, well, Maggie's going to try anyway because it's Maggie.
All right, roll me investigation.
$22.
Okay. There is no sign, for the most part, as you scan the tables until your eye reaches the bar itself, in which case she seems to be speaking with somebody in a cloaked kind of figure. He'll have a weapon kind of strapped to his back. Some sort, wrapped also in some sort of cloth.
Is that Pimbram? I don't know why, but I think it's Pimbram.
You can't tell, unfortunately. He is a bit obscured to the point that you can't see.
Is he wearing any armor?
Like I said, cloak and a weapon on his back that seems to be cloth.
Winters is gonna start walking towards the cloaked man.
Maggie will follow beside Winters. Sorry.
Okay.
And once he gets to him, he's gonna be like, Bembram?
The figure will not answer. However, you will, Maggie, once you get up, you will see that this is Flora.
Oh, Flora.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Can I talk to you about the thing? She's gonna point down.
Mm-hmm.
Did you figure it out?
Did I figure what out?
The Black Mass under the city.
As far as I knew, I turned in some information, and
Who'd you turn it to?
the guardsmen
And who do they talk to?
themselves, and then sent a platoon down below.
Thank you. We gotta go. She's gonna quickly go. Actually, she's gonna turn to go, and then she's gonna be like, and then she's gonna turn back around and be like, "Where's the guards? The head of the guards area that I can go to."
Oh, it's in the higher district, just up the road.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all your help. And she's gonna quickly make her way out.
Winters is following Maggie.
Okay.
Tensel would imitate the bow of the clergyman again to the two sitting there and then follow off hurriedly.
Okay. So Maggie's rushing to the guardsman.
Because she wants to make sure herself that it's all gone.
Okay.
Charity'd be on her heels.
Tensel would probably be in the back, just trying to keep up.
Okay. So it's really not even far off from this place. Probably about 5 minutes just down the road to the gate. there is a small group of probably about 4 men. One in I wouldn't even really say it's elegant armor. It just looks a little bit more well made than the others. Maybe the centerpiece of the chest plate has a divot that looks a little bit more ornate. But that gentleman will turn to you and kind of see you, because I'd say, would Maggie say she's rushing at this point?
Oh yeah, she's rushing over.
Okay, so yeah, he'd kind of look concerned. Is everything okay?
She'll be a little bit, and she'll be like, "Hello, my name is Maggie Micheal. I'm pretty sure you've heard of my family. We're from I'm from Ville," and going to be like, "May I speak to the captain of the guard, please?"
I'd love to be able to let you be able to speak to him. Unfortunately, currently he's doing reconnaissance down below the town.
May I know where exactly down below is?
Roundabout area. They've probably been down there about probably about 45 minutes or so. A little long. I don't know exactly where.
Thank you. Where was the entrance he went into, if you don't mind me asking? And the reason I'm asking is because I know a little bit about what's going on down there, and I want to help.
Well, I can understand you wanting to help. I don't think I should. A matter of safety, I don't think I should allow you to help. I'm pretty sure we have it underhand. It was some sort of complaint about a slime creature or something. Maybe it could just be maybe an ooze or something that we might have to take care of. I understand the need for concern, though.
Yes, I understand, but I just want to know how they're getting rid of it. Like, because I know that it absorbs magic, and I want to know how they're getting rid of it.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
I mean, so far, I don't think we've currently located anything. I think they had sent at least a scout up to inform us, and we'd rendezvous at the area in which they had found it, but no word yet.
Maggie's gonna raise an eyebrow. How long have they been gone?
Like I said, probably about 45 minutes, close to an hour.
She's gonna nod. So, but there isn't any way you can tell me. I'm trying to do persuasion. Can I roll for that?
Of course.
24.
Oh yeah. Ma'am, he's gonna look to the platoon, the small 3 people over there, and he's gonna kind of wave to the group, and kind of step over a couple more feet. I shouldn't be doing this. I really could lose my job, but you seem to know more than we do, and it would be foolish of me not to think that you could help. They entered in the low-end town, the one in which the lady who had found the ooze had spoken of. I figured it was the best place to try to find it, considering it was the last place it was seen. They entered, and they told us that they would send word from a scout. They'd go from the lower end and make their way up, and the scout would come up through the upper end if they found anything, and we would go down. But the way you're talking, I'm starting to worry.
Maggie's going to nod. Thank you for everything you just told me. She's going to smile brightly at him and curtsy. If I could do anything to help you, just please let me know. I know I don't have much sway here, being that I'm from I'm from somewhere else, but anything I could do to help, just let me know. And she'll curtsy.
I mean, of course. I guess the only thing I would ask is don't tell my superior.
Of course. She's going to smile and flutter her eyelashes a little bit, and then she's going to go to the group and tell them exactly what he just told her, and go to where he said to go.
Okay. Let me think something here real quick. Say 52. Let me see here. As you guys go to kind of walk off, he'll approach the group real quick, and I think closest he'd probably be to Winters, and he'd have kind of like a rolled up piece of paper in his hand. Before you go, I'm not sure how much help this will be, but I'm sure it's better than nothing.
Is he handing it to Winters?
Since Winter's closed, probably, yeah. He'd be handing that straight to you.
Winters will take it.
Yeah.
And Winters will hand it to Maggie.
All right.
Maggie will take it and look at it.
Rolling it open, you will find that there is a... it's a crudely drawn map of what seems to have been probably overlaid on a blueprint of the sewers, and it kind of gives you an idea of kind of the twists and the turns that it has, and it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, I can imagine. So Maggie is going to go to where it's marked where they're supposed to be.
All right.
Tensel will be following along, ready to face anything that tries to come in the way of us.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. It was about 20 minutes to and from. You guys have been traveling. It was 15 minutes to the lower end district, 20 minutes up to them. So that's about 45 minutes. It's fairly late. So at this point, the sun has gone down.
Okie dokie, Smokies.
Although I don't think anybody really has problems seeing. I think everybody kind of have. Charity has dark vision. Tensel, you've got dark vision. Winters, you
Nope.
have dark vision, do you? So it's not horribly dark. You guys can still see the light of the moon, but it's more like dim vision. The roads aren't really lit all too right now, unfortunately, because it looks like the manpower that would normally be used to like light the candles and then the road lights are just not there to do it. Can I have all of you guys kind of roll a perception?
Hey, Teds!
Hey.
24 for persuasion, 10, 10, 13, 11. I'd say the only person who might notice a little bit of a change, not even exactly. There is a bit of an odd bubble to the stone in the road. You'll find that it normally would curve down, especially with the sewers down below, and eventually it would just kind of have this almost light U effect as it kind of cups into the center because of all the travel and all the weight that comes through the center of the road. However, it's bubbled upward.
She's again just gonna stop and tilt her head and stare at it. This is wrong.
Maggie's gonna nod. She'll be like, "That's why I want to find out. I can't." She's gonna be like, This is why I want to find out. I can't rest knowing this is underneath the city. I can't."
No, I mean this, and she kind of points at the bubble stone. It's
Maggie's gonna look down. Do I see it, or because I don't have dark vision or anything like that? So
I mean, once it's pointed out, anybody would be able to kind of make the quick connection. it definitely looks odd, definitely out of the usual. It is not. It's not supposed to be like that.
Maggie's brows are gonna furrow, and she's gonna lean down and like, what the hell?
I've lived here for a long time, and it's never looked like this.
Can Tensel try to pick it up?
Sure. Give me a quick investigation roll, real quick. So, with this 11, you're going to look at this as a whole, and it's a lot larger than just one big spot. It seems to be in this regional area, probably around 45 feet in diameter, roughly. And as you reach down to kind of investigate the reason for the bubbling, you're going to find that most of the stones are going to be fixed. But you are going to be able to eventually find a smaller piece of stone, which looks to be almost dislodged, and you're going to pull this up. And just underneath of it is this nasty ooze, this black gunkiness.
Tensel's gonna look at it and then like show Maggie the other side of it. Is it like this?
Is it?
It's fairly similar, yes.
Maggie's gonna be like, oh god, it's seeping into the city now. Maggie's gonna look at Charity and Winters and be like, we need to find those guards now.
Let's go then.
Quickly.
Tensel's gonna take the stone with him.
Good idea.
As you guys rush down the road, there's going to be a shift behind you, and that large area that you had seen the bulge, the bulge is going to get bigger and bigger, and eventually the stone is going to kind of break and part away as this ooze that she had seen earlier is starting to rise even more, and eventually it congeals. Like those stones will drop through it. It's not collecting them, but it will pull itself from this crevice that it's currently pushing through and making. And this thing is going to be it's not even 10 times bigger. It's probably 1,000 times bigger than you remember, Maggie.
Maggie's going to widen. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What are you going to do?
Maggie's eyes are going to widen. She's going to be like, oh god, we need it. She's shocked. That's a lot bigger than I remember it.
Tensel's gonna immediately look to Winters and Winters, shield now.
I mean, Winters already has his shield out and his warhammer out and he's ready.
Okay.
Tensel's gonna run up and bang his sword on his shield, trying to make as much commotion as possible.
Okay.
Maggie's got an idea. She's gonna be like, you guys get these people out of this area. I have an idea. And she's gonna start climbing to get on the roof.
Oh, yikes. Winters used thaumaturgy to start yelling and telling everyone to get out.
Okay. So your loud booming voice is going to ring through the whole street, just everywhere. It's going to get loud, especially because the stone is working in a very lovely way where even the smallest bit of sound will carry pretty well. With that, people will start to scatter. Are you going to direct them in a certain direction, or are you just telling them to run for safety?
I would hope that they were taking him to the church.
Essentially, just to like either leave the city or go to the church.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Roll me. Actually, you would be able to know exactly where the church is. You've got a good head on you. So, yeah, you'll boom this out. The 3 or 4 people who are civilians will immediately kind of 3 of them will run to an exit, and 1 will run back in the direction of the church itself. The guardsmen that were close by will attempt to kind of reach to the aid of you guys, but they will end up getting trapped on the other side of this opening. Tensel, I'll say that you're gonna seem to get its attention in a way. It doesn't have a face, which is, it's hard to really tell where its attention lies. What I am going to say is that you're going to notice this thing is going to not just come up, but it's going to mold and change into this. Best way to explain it, this ooze spider. It's going to have these gangly legs. And then eventually, staring down at Tensel and Winters, of course, because it's going to be splitting this nasty, gnarly mouth into almost two directions. And these going to have like jagged teeth, very long, spindly, and pointy, very nasty. And it's just going to be staring you both down.
I guess Winters is holding his ground.
Did Maggie get on top of the roof, by the way?
Could I actually have you roll me an athletics check? Or an acrobatics?
Okay, thank you. I was like, please,
Yeah.
athletics, please.
Might be able to vault off of like a sign or something. That's a 10. You have good footing, so it's a good place to start.
Okay, because yeah, she's trying to get on top of the roof. You'll see in a minute what I'm trying to do.
As by the way, this is all happening in a few bits in moments of seconds. But I will say this, out of the corner of I would say probably Charity's and Tensel's eye, from where I picture them standing, you would see that there is another group of people making their way towards you. And they're kind of running against the herd of people now fleeing kind of out of buildings as this thing kind of takes up space. I would think that you could definitely see their weapons are drawn. I don't think either of you might be able to make a connection as to who they are. I think Charity might have the most possibility if you would like to roll a history.
She's probably just thinking we have help coming. Probably doesn't care beyond that, is too focused on what's at hand.
Alrighty. Well, guys, I think this is a good place to end it and kind of catch up here at the crossover.
Woot!
I need to get on the roof!
Holy crap!
I need to get on the roof! That's on the roof!
You'll get on the roof eventually. You just gotta wait until Monday.
So, I mean, we can take a quick 5 and then come back for questions to each other if you guys want.
Please, because I gotta go.
So, we're going to open it up to probably about 20 minutes or so, probably 30 minutes. We can go a little bit longer if we want. But just like questions to each other about characters, about the campaign, anything really. Whatever you guys feel like you would like clarifying on.
Maggie is ready for questions.
I have one for Gunny.
Do pray tell.
Well, so Tensel's been, since he's left, he's been looking for kind of any information about his dad, correct?
Yes, and since he's been roped into this prophecy, it's kind of been put on hold.
Well, does he have where do you think if this prophecy were to end, because it's getting close, just a couple more episodes, and I'm sure we'll see kind of the end of this prophecy that you know of so far. What would happen if he gathered probably information, or where do you think he'd start to gather information?
See, he's been traveling around following rumor after rumor of possible sightings of this man and using his own crest as an example to see if anyone has seen this. And he's been following the rumors and not really getting much of anywhere, except possibly that he's on, a mile-long trail behind his father, trying to find him.
Right. I was just wondering, because like, if things were to slow down, I just kind of wondered where he'd start his idea up again, where he might find him.
Of course, there was the rumor of someone high getting out of Noveska, and the only other thing that he has to go off of is to possibly search for this person to use to find his father in order to find any sort of trail. But as far as the trail itself, it's kind of going cold. There hasn't been any clues as of late as to where he's been, so he's been going just up and down the entire continent trying to find anything. Now that he's made it back to Kroka, he'll of course ask around if Kroka even survives. He'll ask around and maybe try to find something there.
Okay. I got one for Neko for Winters. Well, things are kind of tightening up between Graydon and Eris. And, well, the last time big things like happened, there was a war. And, of course, Winters was the one who fought on the front lines. He's had his fair share of war. He's seen the darkest parts of it. Do you think that might... I don't know. Do you think that might stray him away from kind of staying away from that area, or would he? What's his thought on it?
He might feel awkward going there, but it's just something he has to face, because this is kind of like his own path of atonement. But whatever happens on the way is still yet to be decided.
What you mentioned his path of atonement. Is that something you'd be willing to share, or would you rather it be more left for a surprise for the campaign?
Probably left for a surprise, because it's a lot to take in.
All right. He's always seemed kind of, there's definitely more to him, because we haven't really gotten to see a lot about Winter's background. He seems to be kind of really, at least to me, interesting, because it hasn't seen a lot come into play yet. At least not yet. I know we've got a lot to work with, so it'd be interesting when it does.
Yep.
When did you get the idea for Winters?
It was a while ago. I wasn't sure exactly what class I wanted to make him. I think he was a war cleric when I finally decided. However, he was just kind of based off of the whole, his name is based off of the character from Band of Brothers by the same name, or the same last name, Winters. I forget what it was. I think it's Richard B. Winters. And, essentially he's just like, he survived everything that comes after, and he came home to kind of like live out his life and kind of see if there's something more. But he's kind of like maybe like a little bit of John Wick in there as well. Not too much, just like a little sprinkle.
with everything that's happened and everything that's gearing up to happen, does it feel? Would you say that maybe there's like a feeling that maybe it just seems cursed? He's had such bad luck when it comes to war. He just got out of one, and already it seems like another one might start.
For him, no. He's used to it. He used to worship a more civil god, I'll say, like one of like hearth and home, and then that when bad things happened, she didn't answer. So then he took it upon himself to get back in, and so he doesn't think he's cursed, and he doesn't like feel as though he wants to leave. He feels as though it's his calling now to move forward and fight.
With the shocking situation that we had underneath of the ground and the whole bubbling and things like that, do you think that there might be a cause for concern for Nia a little bit more, hearing that Edmund had been there a whole week before you guys? It was the biggest variation of your guys' arrival. Would that concern your characters more?
Gunny, Red, do you want to answer this one?
Well, once we can get a chance to stop and think, it probably would cross our minds in that, like, one hesitant moment, we're still missing someone. But in the moment that we're at, we have this grave danger that's endangering everyone in Kroka, potentially. It's hard to focus and realize that we're still missing someone who hasn't had any signs of even being here. You know?
Yeah. So it seems to have arrived early, this event. It was, with everything that was going on and everything that was kind of leading it up to, it really seemed as the night of the event was going to be the Doomsday Ticker. How are you guys feeling that it came a little earlier than you expected?
Yeah, it came hella early.
I mean, Winters is, again, fine with it. He's used to it. He's used to not having enough time and just improvising.
I'm sorry, was that directed to everyone? I apologize if I answered that.
No, to everybody at this point.
I mean, Maggie's not used to war, so, I mean, she hasn't been sleeping well. She's, she thinks she's going insane. But she's trying to keep it together because, she knows people are, not only looking up to her, but she knows there's people that care about her, and she knows that, she has to do what's right. Like, that's just who she is. Like, she needs to protect everyone because that's what her father and her mother taught her and how they treat their own people.
With the aberrations now kind of spanning being cited by most of the group, because now we've had hints from Winter seeing kind of things out of the corner of eye. You, Maggie, have clearly seen some crazy stuff, and I believe there was a troop of people who apparently disappeared on the road. I mean, I know it's the last thing on anybody's mind, but is that concerning?
It's concerning for Maggie, but like you said, it's the last thing on her mind right now.
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing with Winters, but magic's all around, so it's not like it's an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
Charity thinks it's connected, honestly.
Would you like to elaborate? Or would you like to keep that kind of to yourself?
No, it's more that, she started noticing these things happening when they got to town. So she's half concerned, like, oh, it's probably just another part of this stupid shit that's happening.
Good thought. You guys have any questions to each other?
I have a question toward Maggie.
Uh-oh.
With what's going on right now, and in the state that Maggie's in, how is she handling the news that Aeson is here? But
She
not
literally
being,
went... Go ahead.
but having to choose to avoid him for the moment.
To be honest with you, it's taking everything in her to not run through the streets screaming his name and wondering where the fuck he is. But she needs to... She realizes, you know, he'll find her, or, you know, they'll find each other eventually. Because... I don't know, they always seem to find each other, and she knows when she needs him most, he'll show up. That's just how cliche they are. But she's trying her best to handle the fact that she knows Aeson's so close, but yet so far at the same time. And the fact that there's a huge blob monster coming out of the floor kind of helps her get distracted from that moment. So yeah.
We've seen kind of Tensel grow a good bit. It's gradual. He was, you know, kind of taken back at the church, but once he got around his friends, he's been speaking up more. He's been, you know, really pretty much speaking to the group more is where I see his growth at. He definitely feels comfortable around Winters for sure, but now he's starting to become a little bit more comfortable about Maggie and Winter, Charity. Would you say that he's grown?
He definitely is growing to know the group, to trust the group. The fact that he's mentioning his father to anyone besides Winters at this point is definitely a good indication to how he feels towards the group. He looks to them as not just friends, but actual companions.
Oh. That just made me happy.
You guys have gotten, at this point, through a lot of stuff. There's been a lot on the road. You've had to race since the moment that you got this prophecy. Everybody's been kind of frayed with emotions, and it looks like it's kind of starting to really find its comfortable zone where you guys are able to rely on each other, even if just only a little bit. Any other questions?
One toward Winters.
Hello.
With being with this group as long as you have, Winters still seems a bit off-put, a little bit background, so to say. What's his view on the group and how he's working through it?
Because of his soldier background, he's used to like people taking orders and just doing what they're told and just like dealing with it. You know, it's like, oh, you have to hold the line with like a stick and like a dime and you can't let them pass, like stuff like that. So for him, it's very difficult to kind of like acclimate himself around people again, because that was essentially most of his life. And also because of some of the stuff in his backstory, he kind of feels a bit hesitant as well when he looks into people's eyes. As if like regret. Very regretful. But he doesn't hate anyone. He admires everyone in the party for who they are and what they do. However, he again is a bit just like taken aback at how things kind of function in a not military sort of party.
Was he kind of a high enough rank in his platoon when he was in the military to have a voice, or like you said, just strictly do what he's told, stick it in, take orders? Or was he a place of some sort of power?
I mean, just like in any military, even if you are an officer, you still take orders from someone way above you, even if it's all the way to an emperor or king. But in the military, he was a captain, so he kind of led his own company, but he still took orders from someone who was higher above him.
So it'd be kind of definitely a different change with everybody discussing it openly before making a decision, rather than getting kind of word that somebody has just made the decision for you.
Yes and no, because I mean, even though you get the order from higher up, you still have to discuss it between everyone in the company to kind of like know how things are going to go down, where everyone's going to be placed, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there is sort of since there's no more kind of like orders coming from higher up, then it's a bit more jarring for him.
All right. Does anybody have anything they want to plug? Maybe it's YouTube videos that you make, or a group that you're also with, another podcast that you're part of. You can go ahead and kind of give information for the listeners if you want.
I mean, I'm a part of a stream on Wednesdays with Endless Sea. I'm playing a warlock named Bethany. Warlock of the old one.
And you said that was where?
On Twitch.
Okay.
On Endless Sea Twitch, yeah.
All right. Sorry, you still had one more question, or more questions.
Yeah. Now, with this going on in Charity's hometown and seeing the potential that her home is getting destroyed from this, how is she reacting to all of it?
Well, I mean, Charity was brought up in such a way that when she gets pushed into a stressful situation, her emotions slightly get switched off and she goes into what's the best way to help people. So right now, she's not really feeling anything as such. It's all just very focused on dealing with what's at hand. But underlyingly, she is really worried about her church. She's scared about what's coming. I mean, she's incredibly relieved when she saw another group rushing in to help. And yeah.
Would anyone else have any questions?
Why is Maggie's hair short?
Yeah. It was more so like at first it was just like, oh, I really like the way this certain actress looks because I based her look off of I don't know, her name just left me. But I liked the idea, and then when Max and I started talking about Aeson and Maggie's relationship, he pointed out that it was not like the other nobles. And then I realized, Maggie isn't really like the other nobles, so that kind of just became my thing where I liked having her have short hair. But because she hasn't had a hairdresser around, it has grown a little bit. It's not like hella long, but it's grown. And she's probably going to keep it short, but like it's not going to be the same from when she first started.
And question for Tensel: what do you, how does Tensel react to like all the rest of the people in the party or people he meets? Because he's an elf, like a proper elf, not even a half elf. So he's much more long-lived than all the other races.
Well, with his upbringing and the way that he had to survive in Noveska, it's kind of because of that he's a little shut off from the world. He's really hesitant to try to interact with anyone because he's afraid that it will relapse into his past. And for that, it's a very, very scarring time for him to be brought back into a time where he was treated as low as it could be treated. So he tries to avoid any kind of interaction that could possibly bring that up. As far as the party itself goes, he's getting a little more comfortable now that he's getting to know them. And it's starting to show itself more and more. He's showing a little bit more emotion. You can kind of see that childishness coming out of him. And it's actually allowing him to breathe a little bit being around everyone.
And a question for Charity: has your connection or has your relationship with Aphrodite ever faltered, or has it always been good, or how does that go? Because with clerics, there's always that kind of like, not bond, but kind of like mentor, parent kind of relationship with the deity, or sometimes it's estranged.
Charity's also been extremely devout to Aphrodite. Her parents were followers of Aphrodite. But there was one time so far that it has faltered, and we saw that in the podcast, and it was because they were trying to do a ritual to expel a ghost who was slowly going mad, and at some point she continued to try to get help from Aphrodite but wasn't answered, and then Charity realized that, well, Aphrodite doesn't really have much pull over the dead, so maybe I should ask Persephone. So she made a prayer to Persephone, and suddenly it worked. So after that, she had a little bit of a falter because she was expecting repercussions, and she was worried, and then thinking about why shouldn't I be able to pray to another god when my god has no control over something. But after that, she slowly regained confidence in her goddess and is still extremely devout. Yeah.
I think we also saw kind of like a little bit of a punishment too, because she could have helped you in many ways earlier, probably about a couple episodes back too. Rather than just kind of giving you a tool, she ended up taking her horn.
Yeah, Charity saw that as a just punishment, though. She's like, yes, this is appropriate. Because I was vain in thinking that my goddess couldn't help, therefore she's destroying my vanity or taking a part of her vanity.
And I guess the question to everyone is that since we're level 4 now, and we've already got, I'm pretty sure for most classes they get their subclasses at level 3. Why did you pick why did you pick your classes and your subclasses respectively?
Like, are you talking like Glamour Bard and stuff like that?
Yeah, like why did you pick Bard, and then why did you pick Glamour Bard specifically?
Bard because I just kind of wanted to. I was just like, I haven't tried this class yet, so I'm gonna try it. And just because I've heard a lot of fun things about bards, so I did that. And glamour bard because not like I said before, a lot of the other ones didn't fit Maggie. You know, like I kind of lean towards whispers, but you know, whispers is kind of more brutal than what I like for Maggie. And then like valor, she's not a fighter really. And yeah, I don't know. It just seemed to fit her better than any others.
We have a question from a listener if everyone is interested.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
All right, so I have Blake here with me.
Hello.
Do you want to go ahead?
Hello.
Sure. So my question is for everyone. How do you think how Weldians do as a dynamic, as a whole, as a party? And so I know players usually have goals they want to do. So how do you think that actually takes into play with your characters and how they interact with everyone else?
I mean, for Maggie, her ultimate goal right now is just to save Kroka. Like, to be fair, at the very beginning, she just kind of was there and to, you know, just learn about the world around her because she had been a sheltered child. And she wanted to learn about the world, and then all of this went down, and she's like, I need to help, because that's how I was taught, you know? So I don't know how that, I mean, with her being narrowed down on it, I mean, it did create a little conflict between her and Charity, but, I mean, she thinks she's on the same page with everybody, so hopefully, you know? So, I mean, I hope I answered the question.
You did. You answered it.
For Winters, it'd probably be like, since he's just new to the party, his aspirations are fairly, there's not much there, but the way I guess he just kind of like meshes with the party is the fact that there's another cleric in the party, he's a cleric, Maggie's in the party, and she's really like a great character to be around, honestly.
Aww.
Same thing with like Tensel is just like, well, I mean, with Tensel, it's because Winters and Tensel have backstory. So it's like essentially Winters will defend Tensel with his life, and I'm not sure if they're the same as, or the reverse is the same, but with Winters, it's basically just like, yeah, he will devote himself to the party.
So you said you weren't sure about, since there was another cleric in the party, you think there actually might be some butting of heads, since possibly you two following totally different gods?
No, I meant that there are two clerics, therefore we can get along because we're both clerics. We know what it's like. As for the gods, I'm not sure. I mean, Winter's god is Athena, and she's not really one for blatant conflict, like just like open savage warfare. It's mainly about wisdom and being more strategic and everything.
Yeah, even in the mythos, Athena and Aphrodite always had a rivalry between each other.
True, but that could be said about many gods in the mythos. There's a rivalry between Athena and Ares. There's a rivalry between Hera and Hercules, or Heracles, depending on, Roman or Greek.
Thank you. You answered my question.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, we're reaching the target for where we need to end the episode. So, I'm going to think that would be good for us. We are going to try to stream live on the 24th in some way on Twitch, potentially. One way or another, it will be recorded, and it will be coming out shortly after. We're going to have both groups meeting up for this lovely crossover.
Woo!
Yeah.
This gonna be fun.
Maggie finally gets to see Aesod. I'm sorry.
I would not. I would probably be lying if I didn't say there wasn't like some sort of Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back to the next episode. We really did enjoy doing this one. If you were one of the lucky few who got to enjoy our live stream for the crossover event not too long ago, you'll be happy to know that we'll be posting it up here in the next coming weeks as our next episodes to keep everybody filled in. Now, it won't have the few bells and whistles that we normally would. There won't be a lot of music, a lot of editing. We'll kind of keep that to the minimum so that you guys can feel what it's like to really kind of see us a little bit live. With that being said, also don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Podbean, and Google Play. Subscribe if you haven't already. Those who do subscribe make it easier for others to enjoy the adventure once they see it pop up on their thread. Check out our Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I know our YouTube is going to be updated with some new stuff. We're going to be going to a Renaissance festival for a wedding, and a few members from the podcast will be attending. So there might be some shenanigans there. And definitely costumes. Costumes galore. If you have any questions, email us at opportunityroll.podcast@gmail.com. All one word. And we want to thank Purple Planet Music. We use all of their music for the backgrounds, the kind of situation settings. It really does help piece together a really good podcast. And we want to thank Kobold Press. As to where I still have the Tome of Beasts, I'm looking into getting a few more informational books from Kobold Press. It's going to make it entertaining and definitely more exciting. Well, that's about all for me. So remember, keep your opportunities open.